And back to that breaking news, 5 people are dead, including 2 teen suspects after a shooting at an Islamic center near San Diego. The center included both a mosque and school. Both say, or police say, I should say, both suspects ages 17 and 19 died from self-inflicted gunshot wounds. Joining us now is Ahmet Oval with the Council on American Islamic Relations Executive Director. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Good evening.
So let's talk about what happened today. What went through your mind when you saw the images, children being ushered out of that building? What went through your mind?
Yeah, I mean, houses of worship, schools should be places of safety, places of reflection, places of prayer, and seeing those scenes were definitely shocking for myself, for our community members at large. I just imagined, like, what would I do if my kid was in that school? I actually happen to know the imam of the mosque. I was meeting with him early last year, and just thought to his safety, Imam Taha, and the community.
So unnerving. Local police say, though it's early, they're looking at this as a hate crime. And we have a significant Muslim population here in Philadelphia with a number of mosques and Islamic centers. Does this change how you will operate?
Absolutely. I mean, our communities are unfortunately all too familiar with this kind of hate, and we are navigating a rather difficult atmosphere. There is dehumanization, there is Islamophobia, unfortunately coming even from the halls of the Congress. But definitely an incident like this intensifies that, and our community leaders we have been in touch with. We've sent mosque safety precautions as a reminder to our community leaders, and I think everyone is kind of both watching the news with anxiety, trying to learn more about the motive and everything else, while at the same time taking initial steps. It's reassuring to know that the local law enforcement agencies, Philadelphia Police and other agencies are increasing patrols and have been checking in on our communities. But at the same time, a shock like this just hits really close to home.
And we are showing the images again of those children in line. It just breaks your heart. NBC News is now reporting that anti-Islamic writings were found in the suspect's vehicle, according to a source that spoke to them. A 17-year-old and a 19-year-old are the suspects here. What needs to happen to transform hearts and minds of young people apparently being radicalized?
I think the solution here is for us as a community, as a larger community, to continue to stand together, to continue to build bridges, to continue to talk to one another, and to continue to put forward the fact that majority of our communities are peaceful individuals and ones that even when they disagree, they are able to speak to one another. But unfortunately, again, the kind of hate that's being fueled in the Congress, sometimes elected officials, and other places, media and as such, is really concerning. So that really calls us to just point out that we need to continue to put forward what our faith communities at large, whether we are Muslim, whether you're Jewish, whether you're Christian, whether you're Buddhist, are actually coming together on shared, ideals of love and serving the community. For our own community, this comes also on the heels of these are the best 10 days of the year according to the Muslim faith, and our community members are taking the Hajj pilgrimage. Many community members have already started taking that trip to Mecca. So it comes at a difficult time, also at the same time, a time where we put forward the values of sacrifice, the values of peace, and the values of love as well within our own community. So I think there will always be individuals that unfortunately get derailed, that unfortunately buy into the discourse of hate, whereas we need to continue to speak even louder as the majority of the community that continues to build with one another, continues to serve together, shoulder to shoulder.
And you mentioned the timing of this, and it's impossible to talk about this without considering that. Do you think there should be more consistent security around houses of worship?
It's always a tricky balance. We want to make sure that our houses of worship are welcoming places, that they are not securitized, they're not fortified in that way. But at the same time, these incidents are all too real. Actually, just these days, many of our mosques are finalizing their applications for the state security grants for houses of worship, along with churches and synagogues and other institutions. I'd be remiss if I wouldn't mention that while we are very thankful for the first responders at the federal level, at the local level, the federal government, unfortunately, this year, for the first time, put a lot of roadblocks for houses of faith to apply to the federal security grant assistance. Many mosques, churches, synagogues that I know decided not to apply to those grants because there were ideological barriers that were put forward by the federal government. I would hope that the federal government would reconsider those roadblocks so that our communities that need to hire another security guard, that need to enhance their camera systems and as such could invest in those resources. Many houses of worship are run by the donations from local community members, and I think this kind of assistance is helpful, while at the same time I think it's an onus on us to make sure that our community centers are those places that are welcoming to everyone in the community.
Mr. Arkelioğlu, thank you so much for joining us, and we're thinking about your community as you grapple with what happened today in California.
Thank you. Appreciate you and everyone's prayers.
Thank you.